And then they're like, oh, that's cool. You want to come next week? I'm like, no, I'm going to be in Italy. So I'm not blaming you for that, Megan. I'm just saying, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm happy to be married to you.
Did they, were they going to get you to body double, for Brian because he was gone?
Well, no, his brothers were there. They wanted me to step in for Dwayne. Now, I'm dead serious. I have been a stand-in for Shaquille O'Neal on a set one time. They put me on an apple box and I had to stand because I was the tallest crew member. So I had to stand on an apple box and stand in for Shaq.
That holds water for me.
And then they were like, hey, Mark, dance, because Shaq has to dance in the commercial. And I'm standing on this tall apple box, almost slipping. And I'm just kind of two-stepping. But yeah. So this Furious 7, Meg, I got called to work on this when you and I were getting married. Did I ever tell you that story?
Probably. I'm not apologizing. I had a great time.
We loved it. I would never apologize. And you know what kind of bums me out, guys, is I worked on a bunch of sets, so I guess I don't want to say the movies because it's super pretentious, but I would always see the Fast movies.
Listen, two monitors. Just say the movies you're on.
No. So there were always, $100 million budget movies. They made over $500 million, which, as we all know, is close to $1 billion. But I'd be working on these films, and I'd see the Fast set across town, and I would just kind of put my hand out, like, oh, I wanna be on that.
So close.
Yeah, but then I was on some other set getting paid, so I guess I can't complain.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but moral of the story, Avengers, Fast and the Furious, same world.
Makes
on
sense.
that logic, though, Superman starring Christopher Reeve would be in the same world as James Bond.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're tracking here.
Well, any city that takes place in New York is in the Fast and Furious world, then. We're done.
Exactly. By that logic, right?
Wow.
That means Galaxy... Oh, sorry.
Before we jump on, I jump over to the next film. I just want to say what I think about Fast and Furious is it's the living embodiment of the rule of cool. And are you familiar with the rule of cool?
Where they walk in a straight line looking awesome?
Well, yes, that's clearly it. But it's this idea in creative narratives that you can fudge reality if it's awesome.
Oh,
and this
right.
And that's this entire whole movie. It's just like, gravity doesn't really work by this, but it's cool.
Oh, that's perfect. The rule of cool.
Bullets don't hurt.
They literally don't hurt some of these guys.
You know what I've decided is, I think none of it truly matters. None of the, gravity-defying, physics-defying bits, because you love their relationship so much and they're so funny and they have so many callbacks, so you're invested in the characters and the rest of it's just eye candy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm down with that.
All right, you ready for number 4?
I'm excited about it.
Fast and Furious 6, 2013, directed by Justin Lin, 70% tomato meter score, 7.1 IMDb score, and it made $267 million domestic and $881 million worldwide, which is close to $900 million.
Undershoots it. Just gold. Mark is firing on all 4 cylinders tonight.
Yeah, but my spark plugs are not working too good here. So, listen, Fast and Furious 6, we just watched this again. We had it on. This is our fasting week. And watching the fight scene again between Han, Roman, and Joe Taslim's henchmen inside the London kind of tunnel where the subways are, I love how sweaty Roman and Han are at the end of it. Because, listen, you watch these movies, right? 5, 6, 7. Dom is impenetrable. Hobbs does not get hurt. These guys are just larger than life. But you have Roman and Han drenched in sweat, just got beat up.
And they do not want to be there. They're like, no, you go in.
Yeah. There's a scene where Han is in a headlock and Roman knocks out Han. And it's just the best fight scene. And they're drenched in sweat.
And
they
Joe
lost.
Taslim's just being a brick shit house.
Yeah, Joe's the best. But I just love that about this scene is that there's what I love about 6 is that there's still some humanity left in it. And that's kind of what I dig the most.
Well, and I would say that Roman is maybe the most human character in any of these movies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He hungry.
He hungry. And he's the guy who says what we would say. Yeah. He's the opposite of the rule of cool. He's never looked cool once in these movies.
I like how he asks Tej for some money for the vending machine. He goes, "You're a millionaire."
Oh yeah.
You're still trying to get money for snacks? He goes, "That's how you stay a millionaire."
Yeah, you were laughing so hard.
It's so funny.
And then Dwayne Johnson Hobbs shoots it, and then later on he's still eating from the thing.
He's so pleased eating the snacks out of the broken machine.
And I also love that. Oh, go for it.
I was gonna say I like that everybody else kind of has like their specialty and their thing, and Roman's just like, I'm also here.
say he wanted to be a leader later on.
No, he's wanted to do a lot of things, but he's just Brian's friend.
One of my favorite lines is when he's talking about how the crew, led by Owen Shaw, who was David's #1 pick during our Fast and Furious draft.
Family forever.
And I love when he's comparing all the different characters. Like there's lookalikes for each gang, and he sees this blonde that's part of Owen Shaw's, and she looks at Brian, and he's like, "Brian, when'd you get this haircut?" And he's like, "You know, you're the prettiest blonde in here." And it's the coolest moment between him and Brian. Brian flicks him off, and they both just laugh at each other, and they just think it's just, I don't know. I guess for me, I love the little human moments in this. I like the stuff between Roman and Han when Giselle is beating up those people, and he's like, "Man, you better get her a big ring." And then they're just having that weird conversation. And
that is a very weird.
I like when Tej and Hobbs go off on their own. They're kind of, I like the two of them together. They're fun together. I like Brian staring piercingly into Hobbs' soul. I like Brian beating up Braga for no reason.
Well, you gotta beat up Braga.
Every movie, who doesn't need a prison fight? Come on.
I need that. I wish that was my high school yearbook quote. Everyone needs to beat up Braga.
Everyone needs to beat up Braga.
So I have some things that we haven't talked about that are really awesome with this one.
Talk to me, buddy.
Updated carpoons.
Updated carpoons?
That's right.
Yeah. This is when the carpoons really go crazy.
Oh, yeah. And also, there's a callback from 2 to 6. So in 2, they shoot this thing into Brian's car, which shuts it down.
Oh,
so Brian,
I remember those.
Brian gets it out of the car. In this one, they shoot him with one, which wipes out Tez and Roman, of course. Oh, sorry. But then Brian just knocks it off in this one because he knows from 2. There's so many callbacks in these films.
Yeah. I also really like with this scene is that, or this movie is that Dom's team is fallible. Right? Yeah. Like they get wrecked by Owen's team at the beginning, and
destroyed.
You don't really see that going forward. Like this is still they aren't that great, and that's why I picked Owen Shaw over #1 overall in the draft because Owen leads the team that wrecks them.
Yeah, they wipe them out, and I love the scene where Brian gets flipped and there's a slow motion of him in the air just flying around, and Letty comes out. Letty comes out and foils the chase too. She knocks Dom away, and then Dom chases her, and she just shoots Dom. So, yeah, this is a good crew they have.
Wait, is he shot in the shoulder 3 times in the series?
Yep. I think he's shot in the same shoulder 3 times.
Yeah.
And there's never a reoccurring shoulder injury. Like, it never bothers him. It never flares up on a rainy day.
Because he's the soldier from Bloodshot, obviously.
Yeah. I told you, it's the Avengers world. He's Groot.
He is Groot.
No, Mark, we are Groot.
We are Groot. My bad. And watch
now
Bloodshot.
I'm crying over here because you said we are Groot.
Watch Bloodshot, by the way. It's very good, and listen to the episode.
So you mentioned something, Mark, about sweat, and this is something that we skipped over. No, have we got to the 5th one yet? We haven't gotten to the 5th one yet.
Not yet.
No.
Well, I'm gonna wait to get to that one then.
Yeah, the 5th one really hits the nos.
All right, so let's move on to 3. Let's get ever closer. Number 3. Which makes me very happy, but it also makes me feel like I'm insane for having it this high. It's Too Fast, Too Furious, 2003, directed by John Singleton, 36% tomato meter score, 5.9 IMDb score, and it made $198 million domestic, and it made $368 million worldwide. It made more money than the Fast and the Furious did worldwide, and it only made 41 million less domestically. So compared to the Fast and Furious without Vin Diesel. So it was still a very, very, very successful film. It just was not enjoyed by critics, but it's Too Fast, Too Furious. And this was #1 on my list.
Say that name without thinking the theme song.
Too Fast.
Too Fast.
Oh, you can't do it.
Too Fast. But watching it again, and I know...
I'm too fast for y'all.
What I love about this movie... Megan just stared into my soul when she said it too, guys. But what I love about this movie is how Florida it is. I love the relationship between Dom and Brian. I like when, Dom and Brian and Roman. I like when they first meet back up, and Brian sees that there's going to be a fight. He tells the guy he's with, "Hey, hold up, like there's about to be a brawl," and the two of them just fight it out. Brian uses his jujitsu, which he uses all throughout. Roman was definitely a better fighter in this movie because he's one-punch KOing people everywhere. I like that it's about a weird drug dealer who just, I don't know, he gets his cigar cutter stolen by Roman. I don't get it. I really don't. They drive into a boat, but I love Sookie.
Ejector seats.
I like the whole crew. I like that it brings in Tej, and I like that it brings in Roman. I don't know. Ted Levine's always cool.
The first races through downtown Miami are a lot of fun. The bridges going up and down, that's definitely a Florida thing. You sympathize going between islands and canals waiting for the damn bridge.
Now, we had 2 people get this number 1, and then we had a 9 and a 4. So what did this get to? Why was this a 9 and 4 for y'all?
Do you want to go first, David?
Sure. So of all the movies, this is the one that makes the least sense to me. As you've already talked about, I cannot explain to you what is happening at the end of the movie. Like, I don't understand why there's a big chase, why Brian is just murdering fellow officers or these people who probably weren't doing anything wrong. It just makes no sense to me at all. It doesn't mean that I don't like it. I like car chases. It just means that I don't understand it, and that ruins some of the fun for me.
Florida.
And this is the most Florida movie. But some other things that I'm going to push back on is I think the acting is the worst in this film. I think Eva Mendes is bad. I think Tyrese is bad. Ludacris, also bad. And these are all people I really like later on in the series. I don't think that their characters are bad, but it was just cringe-worthy watching them act in this. And then finally, they took a 180 on the nu metal and went all the way to a different style of music. And I don't know if I dislike it, but maybe I wanted some more transitions to the rap.
So you wanted Linkin Park?
Wow.
Maybe.
Hey, I'm okay with their acting being bad as long as we get Tej in our series now.
That's right. And his jet ski racing.
And his skills.
That's right. Yeah. And again, I like this movie. I just don't understand the ending. I really love Sookie. Sookie's great. I really want her to be back. She probably will never be, but it'd be great to see her again.
I want Cole Hauser back in this.
Cole Hauser.
Yeah, he's the villain.
We briefly got Ava back in a post-credit scene.
Stinger in 5. She came and talked to him.
Right.
What do you think about this movie, Adam?
So I love the Florida race scene. Like, I think that's why I liked it with the first one too. Is this underground community that people are having. So I love that. Like, I love that Brian was staying at his house and there was like the whole party was going. Like, I loved it all. I love that they were listening to his own music. He was spinning his own tracks at his party.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, and so my friend Phil and I always talk about
Phil Boswell.
There's no Phil Briggs, but we'll call him Phil Boswell for now. We talk about your expectations versus reality. So knowing that Vin Diesel wasn't in this movie, I went in with very, very, very low expectations. I was like, it's just gonna like it. But then I was like, oh, I super enjoyed the movie because it's just a lot of fun. And I was like, oh, so walking out of the theater, I had a great experience with this movie, and it was great. Also, anytime you put Mark Boone Jr. in a movie, I give it an extra 10%.
He almost got eaten by a rat.
My favorite character actor of all time.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh, he's scene really sticks with you. The rat in the can on the stomach. Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkins. Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage.
Other villains use, cars as weapons and guns and fists, but this guy goes full
rat.
Scary. Yeah, it's something.
Cole Hauser battled Vin Diesel in Pitch Black. Are these worlds connected?
Yes, they are.
Probably.
Do you think that Dom is just pre-Shine Job?
Yes.
What a deep cut. Jesus.
Yeah, I love that.
Dude, in Fast 10, your seatbelts, when they go to space.
Yes.
Fast
when they
10.
go to your seatbelts. When they go to space, they're going to leave Dom behind, and he's going to get his Shine Job and become Pitch Black.
Oh my God.
And DH.
And there's a song called, it's by Josh Todd. He was the lead singer of the band Buck Cherry. It's called Shine. So you can get your nu metal back, David, and it's like Shine. You should listen to it. And we could play that just as he gets his new Shine eyes.
I'm just saying, I don't know if we need nu metal now, but for that second movie, I could have used a transition.
This also has my favorite race in it. So the race to like the initiation race to get the job.
Yeah.
It's my favorite race of any of the Fast movies.
No, some of those guys die.
Yeah. It's amazing.
And I love how he just takes off his shirt and punches it and grabs a cigar, and then he tries to steal the cigar cutter later.